ADL leap to the next league for the financial year 2026-27. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
This way? Which way? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, vendor partners. Today, it has been a very significant day. I don't know how to explain or express my feelings. The Indian machine tool industry giants sitting on this stage. I was traveling a lot across the globe. One of the things which always excites me is why an organization survives or how an organization survives and grows. This ADL division is going to celebrate its 50th year by 2030, 2029 and 30. If at all this organization is surviving and growing, one of the very important aspects which has sustained its growth is the purpose. I would like to emphasize, without purpose, these founders never talked about business, they never talked about profit, they never talked about bottom line. At least I've been here in this journey since 1994. I'm fortunate enough to be associated with them. What they did talked about is all about excellence. Here is an opportunity for us to do something for our country with a pride. This is what the fundamental thing has been taught to us for decades in this great institution called ACE Designers. Well, today, if you see the values, which is not simply a statement, I would like to spend some time on this slide, which is going to set the tone for us next decades to come. We talk about pioneering. It doesn't matter how much you're doing, it does matter how you're going to do. Is a stigma of excellence is added to it. That's what the values has been talked about in our organization. Respect. You can see these founders, they taught us how to be humble in whatever the success. They keep saying, don't take success to head and failure to heart. This is what the fundamental philosophy. Integrity, which is a non-negotiable term in our organization. Customer first. All the time we're talking about customer is our annadata. And that's what's very important for us. And the last is a journey which is embedded with excellence. Excellence is something which was existing even prior to our existence or arrival to this world. And it's going to be there even after when we leave this world. But the question is, all of us, are we moving in the direction of the excellence or the other direction? Well, this makes it very imperative for us. It's not a slide of purpose, vision or the mission. Of course, to serve this country, to serve the people, we need to have a business. We have taken nearly 50 years to reach with a varying dollar and the rupee, almost $500 million company. Today, ADL is. Now you are aspiring to be $1 billion organization, but we don't have a time of another 50 years. Do we? We don't have. The question is, how are you going to achieve? Whether it is thinking in your mind that we have less time and more to be done. Here is a golden opportunity for all of us. Let's see what happened. All the time when we grow, our organization grows, we think about the GDP, the economy of the country. It's a very interesting slide because we need some confidence to move forward. Our country, since its independence in 1947, we've taken almost 63 years to reach our first $1 trillion economy. But later, we've taken another 7 years to reach from 1 trillion to 2 trillion. Then we have taken 3 years to move from 2 to 3 trillion economy. But now post 2020, we're talking about 8 to 10 trillion economy is a possibility in the next 10 years. We're already halfway through in this particular journey. What can augur to this kind of requirement is all about the leadership. The leadership of the country, the leadership of the organizations. We all carry this responsibility to fuel the Vikasit Bharat 2047. Every time when we land in the other part of the world, we think of when our country is going to become the developed country. Here is an opportunity the leadership of the country has provided for us. It demands a resilience. It demands commitment from all of us to make the thing possible. Instead of questioning what the country has done for us, it is an opportunity for us to see that what we can do for our country. To support this particular thing, the GDP of our country, we all belong to a fraternity of manufacturing. Yes or no? We all belong to a fraternity of manufacturing. The three sectors which is driving our country's economy, right on top is the service, agriculture, more than 50%, followed by the service, and third one is the manufacturing. A country can aspire to be a developed country if and only if manufacture comes to the first. You go and check any of the developed country, definitely manufacturing is not in the third slot. Now, what the country's leadership is talking, how we can give the importance to the manufacturing industries. The last 9 years has seen the GDP of the country is growing almost 80%. The manufacturing contribution in the GDP today stands at around 15 to 16%, where by 2030, it's going to be around 25%. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. I give a pause at this particular moment. Ask all of you to think internally how it looks like 4 years from now onwards for all of you, what you will be doing 4 years down the line if the country is going to provide these kind of opportunities. Now, the aspirations. We all aspire to be a developed nation. Powered by the dreams and driven by the action should be the slogan for us for the future. An economy of 4.3 trillion is aspiring to be 30 trillion by 2047. It means almost 7 times is going to grow the GDP by 2047. Most of the youngsters sitting here just reflect how it could be the 2047 when a developed India is going to be there. Why I am stressing so much about the country is, unless otherwise, we have pride. It's not because of ADL, it's not because of your company. We have to move from selfish to selfless. If we don't give that kind of impetus, we are not going to achieve it. The manufacturing from 800 billion US dollar is going to touch around 7.5 trillion, a 10 times increase in the manufacturing. Just think about what kind of investment that you need to do it. I'm making 8 crore, 10 crore turnover to 11 crores and 12 crores. We feel so happy. That's not going to be the ask for the future. The auto and the mobilities today is around 240 billion US dollar. Is going to be around 4 trillion US dollar. Is going to increase by 16 times. Well, the story ends here? No. I need some more confidence building measure for all of you. Today, in 2025, this is statistics. 9 out of every 10 metro coaches today being used in India, they are made in India, which is not the case earlier. The EMS segment in the last 10 years has grown 6 times. Post-COVID, the EMS segment has grown 6 times. Defense sectors, today is the era of the war. Are you connecting all these dots and see that what an opportunity that we are having on our table at the desk right now? Defense has grown 34 times in the last 10 years. The EV production capacity has increased 12 times. All of us, many of you buy iPhone. You buy or see any iPhone across the globe, 1 out of 4 iPhones are produced made in India today. And also, the demography of the country is producing a lot of youngsters with the average age in the vicinity of early 30s, which is a biggest strength the country carries. We're in a state of Karnataka. Now let's see, zeroing on to what exactly is happening. The Maharashtra in the top 5 GDP, Maharashtra stands at the first place, 13.3%. Tamil Nadu stays at around 8.9%. Uttar Pradesh at the third place, 8.7%, where Karnataka is at around 8.2%. There is a massive opportunity for us where the economy of the state itself is expected to reach from 360, almost 4 times or 3 to 4 times in next 5 years of time. This is the predicted data for the state. Well, I've given enough proof for you to believe. Why we should believe? Let's come back straight away into the machine tool business. The last year, there are 4 graphs to be seen here, and also a food for thought for all of us. If you see the consumption which is at around 38,000 crores, whereas the imports are happening around 21,000 crores, where the domestic production is happening around 16,000 crores, and the export we are doing around 2,400 crores. This is status as of today. How it is significantly going to change in the next 4 years. The consumption from existing 36,000 or 38,000 crore is going to reach around 80,000 crores, which is around 53% more, 1.53 times, whereas the imports is also going to grow by around 1.5 times, and the production is going to grow by 1.5 times in next 4 years of time. And the export significantly is grow, but it's not good enough. Few thoughts here. If at all we are going to grow from, or when we are going to grow, not if at all, from 16,000 to 23, 24,000 production in the country, how we are making ourselves ready for this thing. Do we have the enough capex? Are we investing our money back in the business? Do you have enough skilled people with you? What kind of anticipation or the preparedness that we are going to make to achieve such kind of massive opportunity the country is presenting for us? If you see the machine tool industry, the opportunity for the growth, the consumption of 31 is going to become 63, almost 2 times. It demands only one thing. We need to aim ambitiously. Chalega business will not take us to these particular targets. All of us have to visualize these numbers. This is a very serious thought I am putting forward with all of you, particularly with the manufacturing sector people. Are we really embracing ourselves to grab this particular opportunity? Let's see, we are in the business of turning centers, machining centers, grinding machines. Now today if you see, in spite of 1/3 of the Indian machine tool production is rolled out from us, but still the imports is dominant. Turning centers, we get nearly 30% of machines coming from Japan, then followed by South Korea and then China, 3 dominant countries. I'm not going to touch where the customers will be looking at the speed, productivity, precision, repeatability, build quality, rigidity. If you see, nearly around 1,800 crores of CNC turning centers have come. When it comes to the machining centers, nearly 2,200 crores have been imported last year. Where Japan is taking the first slot, then comes the China and then Taiwan and China at the number 2 and US at the 3. And if you see the horizontal machines, again equally huge number, nearly 1,400 crores of the horizontals have been imported. Now what it means for us, why I have to talk about this thing? 2 things. One is organic growth. We have been growing in the past 8%, 7%, 6%. I'm happy about it. Is that we are going to think for the future? Pierre sir talked about 25% growth. Now the time has come for all of us to think how we can think of 25% growth every year. We are going to assure ADL as India's premier machine tool building company in the country, we take that responsibility. It's our responsibility. Opportunity is very big. We need your support. And more than the support, first is understanding, yes, things are changing here in our country. That belief system is very, very important. Having said this, are we the first people to think like this? No. They're already, if you see the Indian bikes, companies like the Global Motorcycle Exporting Database, if you see here, right at the bottom you can see our own company TVS has already taken a huge, massive lead in the global exports. Where are we? Are we thinking what this company TVS is doing? One of the workshops where we attended, we learned a company which is having 200 doctorate people. A company which is having 200 doctorate PhD graduates. Company which is having more than 100 IITians. A company which thinks manpower, skill development should be of the highest order. The human resource is given the very, very important dimension in that organization. Are we thinking in these lines? What is the different we are doing in this year compared to the last year? This is the ask for every one of us, including us. What is the different I am doing? These kind of languages cannot come from the shop floor. It is a leadership which has to bring this kind of thought process, game changer thought process has to arrive from the leadership. And you are all the leaders, custodian of your organizations. The time has come for us to believe. There is no need to look outside, just inward. TVS is just near to our organizations. Any one of us can go and see what is that they are doing. And if you see the Indian two-wheeler industry success, this is the top list of the 10 companies. Where it takes, though Japan is having the first 2 slots, who is there another 3rd slot? The Hero Motor Corporation, the Bajaj, TVS Motor, Royal Enfield. We are talking With the India's largest machine tool builders, we aspire now. We need to be one among the top 10 in the world. It's not is going to be a statement. It's an ask from ourselves, within ourselves, and with all of you. How collectively we can make, and there are already success stories in the automotive industries. How we can bring that particular success story to the machine tool industry? This is the ask. I give a pause at this particular point of time. Well, we have survived and grown, sustained in the last 50 years, more than 4,300 crores in the last financial years. We have nearly 150 acres of facility, 5,000 plus staff working, our friends and colleagues are working, 70 plus domestic locations, 100,000 plus machines already in the field, 20 plus locations, international locations. Why I am putting this slide is to give a confidence. Today, with the opportunity what we have in front of us, ADL in the country has got a base. We have a very strong base to make any kind of exponential growth possible. We believe now, we believe very strongly. It's very important all of you believe in the same frequency, and that is the ask of this particular session. There are some more word of inspiration from our division. We at TCD 6,300. This is the statistics of last year. Not to boast ourselves, just to give numbers do matter. You know, we can make a statement, I can get away that we can lie the things, but numbers, they never lie. These numbers talks about a lot about you people. Like 6,383 machines of turning last year and 1,317 crores of turnover, and in the March we did around 189 crores and 100 crore plus 9 times in a year. It has become a habit now to make 100 crore plus. In the March we did around 914 machines, order booking to the tune of nearly 7,000 machines. So far 81,000 installation in the country, and one model we got an ability to produce around 1,500 machines. Order inflow consistently getting 500 plus, market share of 31%. Well, similarly for the machining center division, 3,353 machines, the performance of the last year, 1,136 crores, and historically highest order booking happening 4,300, 29,000 machines in the field already. You people have been the driving force in this particular journey. The objective of showing this thing is, I'm repeatedly stating, we have a base. And we have a very strong vendor partners. We attribute this success to all of you, sincerely, honestly, from the bottom of our heart. But for your support, all these things is impossible to achieve. Sir was talking about one division where literally we depend on all of you. And now you're creating a lot of things. Now, the ask is going to be the different, which my colleague Prakash is going to talk about it. But what is important for me is, this year, the new financial year, we are targeting around 8,100 machines. Check how your ecosystem is going to support this. By 2029, we would like to reach 10,000 plus, 11,000, 12,000, I don't know. Similarly, for the MCD, we are talking about 4,190 machines, is again the production capacity we need from you. It's very important, these two slides for all of you. How you can break into a weekly, a monthly, what kind of infrastructure you have, what kind of investment that you have made is very important. And also MCD targets around 8,000 machines by 20 29. Well, the numbers have been talked, opportunity has been talked about it. The rationale behind this, what is the confidence level at which we are talking, why it is going to happen. Now the important question is, are we there? Is the pause, is the thinking, is the thought process for all of you. Things are going to change. What it demands, we call it as a race. Do you have the resistance or do you have the resilience? Do you have resistance or do you have the resilience? Historically, we are good at piling up of the orders. Are we there in the quality, cost, delivery, service, support? Are we thinking in the different paradigm of manufacturing, which is in line with the global requirement? Do we think about accelerating or do we think about ascendancy? Acceleration is something you remove it, your leg from the acceleration pedal, you lose the momentum. Ascendancy is going to make you to remain there and then accelerate again for the next step. What do we want? Do we need conformity or do you need clarity? The era of conformity is over. Today we are all talking about how we can, reduction of lead time is not the requirement. Reduction of wastage is not the requirement. The requirement is how we are going to crash the lead time. How we are going to improve significantly the productivity. How we are going to eliminate the waste in our organization. Do we expect, well, I have done my effort, or do we expect effort is important or your endurance is going to be important? This is what the rationale of the race. It's not a race of for the sake of money we are all driving. I will tell, this is a very last slide of mine. Last year, 10,000 machines, 100,000. I started my talk with such a gratitude for the doyens of the machine tool industry sitting here 50 years back. I don't know, they never thought about all these things, but the life journey has brought us here. What is our responsibility for the future is the ask from my end. How we are going to grab this opportunity, how we are going to change our mindsets, how we are going to make things possible. Are we looking at efficiency or effectiveness? It's going to decide the future of our journey. And thank you very much for all of you for coming here and being a part of this great family called AC Science. You're all vendor partners. You are the partners, you have been with us in the past. You are there with us today. You will be there with us for future too. With that note, I conclude my talk.